Okay, so next I'm going to talk about what's called the neuromuscular junction. You can see this is how it's going to look at the end, but that's more of the steps. I'm mostly going to talk about the structure of the neuromuscular junction. So I alluded to it in the last couple of days, but the brain is really controlling your muscles, your skeletal muscles. So I'm going to label some of the parts of this. So again, this is the neuromuscular junction. And neuromuscular just means nervous and muscular. So in junction means where it meets. So if I'm looking at this image down here, this should be a myofibril or fibril. On the outside here, I'm going to see a specialized layer called the sarcolemma. Up here, this pink-looking bulb is going to be a motor neuron, specifically the axon terminal of that motor neuron. And motor means to move. So it's not a sensory neuron. It's not an integrated neuron. It's a motor neuron. Other things in this image is there's this like pathway here. Okay. That's the T tubule. Okay. And that's a transverse tubule. It's just a tube that goes deep within the muscle fibers. So you need like an opening to get things into it. Right here, this purple layer is technically, it would be around the whole thing, but I didn't want to cover up the whole bottom or inside of it. That's called the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Sarcoplasmic reticulum, I don't know, so let me check the spine. I think it's okay. Okay, so other things on here is I'm going to see vesicles. Those vesicles are going to hold things. They're going to hold neurotransmitters. And there's lots of different types of neurotransmitters, and it's not just one. The main one we're going to be talking about is called ACH, or acetylcholine. There's GABA, there's serotonin, there's many different ones. And then if I zoom in here, this opening from here to here is called the synaptic cleft, because the actual functional act of a motor neuron sending something to another neuron happens at the synapse. So that's why it's called a synaptic cleft. And a cleft is where two things don't meet. So it's kind of like a ravine. And then over here, you're going to have receptors. So again, this is the just labeling of the neuromuscular junction. So your muscle has lots of these neurons connected to it in order for you to control your muscle, right? It's amazing. I'm writing because my brain is telling me to move my fingers so I can write. It's happening very quickly. Okay, so then if I zoom down, there's labeling. I'm not going to do that. Okay. what I would like you to put in your notes are these 10 steps. Just write them down, okay, so that I can go through them in class. They may not make total sense to you yet, but they will. If you're more hands-on, write these steps on note cards so then you can move them around or place them by a drawing. That's my suggestion, okay? So write down these 10 steps. They are a shortened version from your chapter, but if you really feel like you like to memorize word for word from the chapter, you could do that too, or you can just not, okay? So if you do those things, if you write down the steps, and then you already have something drawn, okay, or printed, whatever you want, I'm right here. I can do a blank one too. I'll put a blank one up on the daily agenda too. Then you should be ready.